welcome back to another episode of Ben's Rant Nation. I'm your host, Ben. If you like my content, please comment below and even consider sharing. Today, we're here to talk about the $27 warranty. There are few things more frustrating than paying for a peace of mind, only to discover that when you finally need it, that peace of mind was mostly an illusion. Today, we're talking about CarShield. You've probably seen the commercials, celebrity endorsements, happy customers, promises that expensive repair bills won't ruin your finances. But today, I'm going to tell you about my own experience with CarShield, one that raises some serious questions about how these claims are actually handled. At the end of this episode, I'll let you decide whether CarShield actually delivers on its promises, or whether the process made it nearly impossible to receive coverage that I believe I already paid for. Okay, my vehicle needed some repairs. Specifically, it needed a fuel system sensor and an emissions-related sensor replaced. Nothing exotic, nothing catastrophic. And according to my CarShield contract, all of these items were covered. So what's the total repair bill? $475.34. That's parts, labor, everything included. On paper, this should have been one of the easiest warranty claims imaginable. Covered parts, covered repair. Simple. At least that's what I thought. I called CarShield to open my claim. Several hours later, I received a call back. That's when everything changed. The representative explained that because my mechanic supposedly would not receive the cheaper CarShield parts, my only option was something called a credit-based claim. I asked what that meant. The representative explained that my mechanic would complete the repair using their own parts. Once the work was finished, CarShield would then send the repair shop an electronic payment link via email for whatever amount was approved. I would then pay the remaining balance before my vehicle was released back to me. Naturally, I wanted to know one thing. How much would CarShield actually pay? My representative couldn't or wouldn't tell me this. They initially failed to explain to me the total cost of the repair versus what they were actually covering. So, with no other option presented to me, I reluctantly agreed to let them process the claim that way. Then I started doing the math. I called the mechanic so I could get some real answers. He informed me that my total repair bill, and this is without CarShield, $475.34. Then CarShield called me and informed me that my responsibility portion of that bill is $448.22. Their contribution, you might ask, $27.12. Let that sink in. $27 on a repair involving parts that appeared to be covered on my contract. So after months of paying premiums, something didn't feel right. So I picked up the phone again and called my mechanic. I asked a simple question. Will you accept CarShield's cheaper parts? His answer kind of surprised me. He said absolutely. In fact, he said he had done it before with previous CarShield customers. So that means that the information that CarShield gave me that my mechanic wouldn't accept their parts was simply not true. They told me that so I would approve a credit-based claim. So, armed with that information, I immediately called CarShield back. I then explained to them what my mechanic told me. The representative apologized. They even acknowledged that incorrect information had been provided during my initial call. Then came what sounded as good news. They told me that my claim would be changed from a credit-based claim back to a standard warranty claim. Now, since my mechanic said he is willing to accept CarShield's parts, I was told by the CarShield rep that I would only be responsible now for my $250 deductible. And just like any other warranty, CarShield would then be responsible for the remaining costs of the repair. The representative assured me that an adjuster would soon be in contact with my mechanic to arrange everything so this could finally get started. For the first time, it sounded like my claim would be handled the way I believe it should have been from the beginning. A full day passed. Nothing. No adjuster, no phone call, no update. Eventually, I arrange a three-way phone call myself between the mechanic and the CarShield adjuster. That's when I received another surprise. The adjuster informed me that because the claim had originally been submitted as a credit-based claim, it could not be converted back. Even though that decision had been made because I was given incorrect information from a CarShield representative. Despite acknowledging that earlier mistake, nothing could be changed. The reimbursement remained $27.12. At this point, the issue wasn't $27, it was trust. If a claim can be redirected because of incorrect information, if the company later acknowledges that information is wrong, why can't the customer be placed back in the position they would have been in had the mistake never happened? That's the question I still can't answer. Let's look at the numbers. I paid approximately $99 a month for 6 months. That's about $594 of premiums. When I finally filed what I thought was a straightforward covered claim, CarShield approved $27.12. Every extended service contract has deductibles, exclusions, and limitations. I get that. But this wasn't a dispute over whether the repair itself was covered. It clearly was. The dispute centered on how the claim was processed and whether incorrect information from CarShield permanently changed the outcome of my claim. Now, watch what happens when I finally have all of the information and I decide to call CarShield customer service one last time to confront them about only paying $27 of my claim. As you'll see, I think I ended up getting one of the most disinterested, unsympathetic customer service reps on the planet.
On this claim, as the claim amount will fall below the deductible, and the claim is authorized to credit towards the repair facility report, leaving the out-of-pocket cost at the $448.22. Without the use of the repair facility report, the claim will only be $112, is what they're stating.
So you're saying if they shipped the parts, since it would be cheaper than my deductible, then they can't ship the parts.
Correct.
So why don't I just, but it's cheaper for me to pay the deductible instead of being charged double at almost $500. So why can't I just be charged the deductible like I'm supposed to be charged anyways?
Because we wouldn't be able to cover the part if the part is below the amount of the deductible.
Yeah, you would. If you're saying that the entire repair would be cheaper than the deductible, but if I pay the deductible, you guys get more money. If the entire cost is under $200, if the entire cost, as you said, was under $200, I pay $250, then we both win. Then my cost is at $500, and you guys get more than what it costs to do the job. So why can't we do that?
Okay, because where it stands right now is they're charging $475.34, and we're only authorizing $277.12.
Why?
That's all we're authorizing.
All I know is I was told by two different representatives, that you guys could, in fact, change my claim so you could ship the parts in. And all I would be responsible for is my $250 deductible. I was told that by two different representatives. And then now I'm being told, well, we made a mistake. Now you got to pay $500. And this should have been recorded. There should have been plenty of notes on this because I've been calling lots of times.
Yeah, they're saying that if we ship the part, it's less than that we would have. If we ship the part in, it will be less than the deductible.
That's okay. I'll still pay the deductible. I'm supposed to pay the deductible anyways.
I'm not sure. That's what they're stating. They're stating that the claim will fall below the deductible. The claim has been authorized for the credit. So they're not wanting to make any changes to that.
I'm sharing my personal experience. I'm not claiming that every customer has had the same experience. Some customers may have had excellent service. Others may have had experiences similar to mine. Based on what happened to me, however, I cannot recommend purchasing a CarShield plan. Before buying any extended vehicle service contract, read the agreement carefully, ask detailed questions, and understand exactly how claims are processed. And if you're ever told something that doesn't seem right, verify it, because one phone call and one piece of incorrect information can completely change your outcome. I'm sharing this experience so other customers can make informed decisions before spending hundreds of dollars on an extended warranty that they may truly never be able to use. Now, if you have had a similar experience, I'd like to hear your story. If your experience has been different from mine, I'd like to hear that too. The more information consumers have, the better choices they'll make. Thanks for listening.